As you've probably noticed, there's no shortage of fertility advice out there. Carbs, track everything, do acupuncture, don't stress, but also stress if you're not doing enough. But what if I told you the biggest shifts I've seen in fertility didn't come from giant overhauls? They came from microhabits, tiny, repeatable changes that compound day in and day out. Women I've worked with have gotten pregnant after canceled IUIs, after years of unexplained infertility, even with low AMH and high inflammatory markers. And these aren't magic tricks. They're the result of steady, supportive habits that improve hormone balance, cycle regularity, and overall fertility. By the end of this video, you'll know 5 daily habits I recommend to nearly every client, how your body actually responds to consistency, not perfection, which habits are silently working against your fertility, why doing less might be your missing fertility strategy, and how to build a daily rhythm that supports ovulation and implantation. So let me tell you about a client of mine known as RC. She came to me after 8 months of trying to conceive. Her cycles were irregular. She had cystic acne, chronic UTIs, and weight gain that didn't make a ton of sense. Her lab showed high testosterone and insulin resistance. But we didn't jump into a 10 supplement stack or cut out 15 foods. We focused on 5 key things. That was daily spearmint tea, blood sugar balancing meals, more fiber in her diet, 10-minute walks, and tracking her ovulation using basal body temperature tracking and LH urine test strips. In 2 months, she saw clear ovulation signs and finally started to feel more in tune with her body. But her fertility clinic actually canceled her scheduled IUI, claiming she hadn't ovulated based on the ultrasound. She felt defeated because she truly felt she was making progress. Now the twist, that same cycle, she conceived naturally. No fertility meds, no IUI. Her story is the reminder so many women need. When you support your body in small, smart ways, it often responds in bigger ways than you'd expect. And you gotta trust yourself and your instincts. So let's break down the habits I teach most often. Microhabit number 1. Anchor your day with a blood sugar friendly breakfast. Could your breakfast be sabotaging your ovulation? Yeah, skipping breakfast or just grabbing coffee and carbs can spike cortisol and insulin. And then that sets off a hormonal roller coaster. So instead, try this. Include protein, healthy fats, and fiber in your first meal. Think eggs with sauteed spinach and sliced avocado, or plain Greek yogurt, ground flax seeds, and berries, or chia seed pudding with collagen and protein powder mixed in. And if you're on the go, you could completely do a green smoothie with collagen, chia seeds, and almond butter. This stabilizes blood sugar and supports ovulation by improving insulin sensitivity. It tells your body you're safe, you're nourished, and ready to cycle. Microhabit number 2 is 10-minute post-meal walks. What if improving egg quality and insulin resistance didn't require intense workouts or long hours at the gym? That's the beauty of a post-meal walk. Just 10 minutes, especially after lunch or dinner, can help shuttle glucose into your muscles instead of letting it linger in the blood. This helps to lower insulin hormone that, when chronically elevated, can interfere with ovulation. This also helps to reduce inflammation, which affects egg maturation and implantation rates, and it also helps to improve digestion and reduce post-meal bloating. Walking also helps to boost circulation to the uterus and ovaries, supporting a more nourishing internal environment for conception. And no, to start, you definitely don't need to power walk or track your steps. Our goal is to just move gently, breathe, step outside if you can, or just do a loop around your home or office. This one habit helps your hormones respond better to food and gives your body the signal that it's safe and supported. Let it be easy. Let it be consistent. That's where the magic really builds. And then microhabit number 3 is track, but don't obsess. Use data as a guide, not as a test you have to pass. EBT charts, LH test strips, ovulation apps, these tools can be empowering and give you insight into your body's rhythms and help you time conception more accurately. But here's the problem. When tracking turns into obsessing, it can trigger the very thing you're trying to avoid, which is stress. And chronic stress can delay ovulation, disrupt your luteal phase, and impact egg quality. So track to understand, but not to control. PBT might dip one day during your luteal phase, but don't panic. Your LH strips might fluctuate more than expected, and that can be normal. Ovulation might come a day or two later than your app predicted, and that happens. Your hormones are not static, they're beautifully dynamic, responding to sleep, stress, travel, and even emotions. So your chart should have some wiggle room too. Let tracking be a conversation with your body, not a measurement of your worth. Microhabit number 4, 2 cups of spearmint tea a day if you have high testosterone levels. When it comes to fertility and PCOS, these small shifts add up, and this one is both ancient and evidence-backed. Spearmint tea, in studies, shows that it has anti-androgen effects, meaning it can help lower elevated testosterone, which is often at the root of irregular ovulation, acne, hirsutism, which is that unwanted facial or body hair growth. It can also contribute to disrupted menstrual cycles, and just 2 cups of spearmint tea a day can help to promote more balance and regular cycles. And some women even noticed improved skin clarity, and it can also just calm your nervous system without having to rely on caffeine. What I like about spearmint tea is that it's simple, it's soothing, and it works, especially when done consistently over many, many months. It's not a quick fix. Microhabit number 5, the digital sunset. Sleep isn't optional, it's hormonal medicine. You've probably heard that poor sleep affects energy, cravings, and mood. But here's what most people don't realize. It directly affects your fertility night after night. When your sleep is disrupted, so is your hormone repair cycle. Melatonin levels drop, and this hormone doesn't just help you fall asleep. It also protects your eggs from oxidative damage because it's a strong antioxidant. And then also cortisol rises. High cortisol can blunt ovulation and mess with LH and FSH signaling. And then progesterone drops and becomes unstable. And this hormone is critical for preparing the uterine lining and maintaining early pregnancy. So how do we protect sleep? And by extension, how do we protect fertility? I say start with a digital sunset, and that is 1 hour screen time free before bed. That means no scrolling, no streaming, or replying to texts. And this is because screens emit blue light, which delays melatonin production. It tells your brain it's still daytime. So stay alert, even when your body is craving rest. So here's what to do instead during that hour. You could do light stretching, yin yoga. You could read an actual book. You could take a magnesium bath or have a magnesium foot soak. You could implement journaling or gratitude practice. And you could also do some breath work or simply breathe deeply with dim lighting. You don't need a complicated nighttime routine, just a very calm one. Give your brain the signal that it's safe to unwind. Sleep isn't just about feeling rested. It's when your hormones do their best healing work. Protect that time like it's sacred, because when it comes to fertility, it is. And then a bonus micro habit, fiber is fertility fuel. And you've heard eat more fiber before, definitely from me. But here's why it matters for your hormones. Most women, especially those with PCOS or hormonal imbalances, are getting less than 15 grams of fiber per day. That's barely half of what's optimal for fertility. Fiber isn't just about digestion or keeping things moving. It's a metabolic and hormonal multitasker. And here's what it actually does. Fiber helps to balance estrogen. Fiber helps your body bind and eliminate excess estrogen through the gut. And this matters if you struggle with estrogen dominance, like heavy periods, breast tenderness, or PMS. Fiber also helps to lower insulin because it slows down the absorption of sugar and carbs, and fiber helps keep blood sugar and insulin more stable. This is crucial for women with insulin resistance or PCOS who are trying to ovulate regularly. Fiber also feeds your gut microbiome. Your gut bacteria play a major role in detoxification and hormone metabolism. Fiber, especially from plants, acts as prebiotics, feeding those beneficial microbes, which also helps to reduce inflammation. And we know that low-grade inflammation can interfere with ovulation and implantation rates. Fiber also helps to lower CRP, which is an inflammatory marker seen in blood work. So, I often say aim for 25 to 35 grams of fiber per day, ideally from whole, colorful plant foods. Great fertility-friendly options include the following: lentils, chickpeas, and black beans. They could be cooked or sprouted. Berries, pears, apples, especially with skin when possible, ground flax seeds, chia seeds, oats, and definitely a variety of veggies. And if you're not used to high fiber, go slow. Even just 5 extra grams per day can start shifting your gut towards health and hormones. And if you pair your fiber with water and movement, this will also help to reduce bloating as your body adjusts. And remember, you don't have to do everything perfectly. You don't need 10 supplements or a 100-item food list. Your body responds to consistency, not intensity. Choose one habit, start today, and build from there. Because fertility isn't about punishment or pressure. It's about creating an internal environment where conception is possible and sustainable. If this video gave you clarity, direction, or hope, don't leave without downloading my free PCOS pregnancy prep guide. Inside, you'll find the exact labs to request to dive deeper into your health, how to track ovulation properly, foundational nutrition strategies, my go-to supplement list for pregnancy and PCOS, and what a realistic timeline looks like. Grab it at the link below. It's the guide I wish I had years ago. And if this helps you, please like, subscribe, and share with someone else walking this path. Because big results, they start with small, sustainable shifts. See you next time.